Today is a 48 First Alert Weather Day. Sponsored by Mr. Reuter Plumbing for all your emergency plumbing services.
5:16 on a Saturday morning. Hope you had a great week. We had the flooding risk that developed earlier this week, and flooding will again be possible overnight tonight into tomorrow morning as we're tracking a line of strong to severe storms. Today, a 48 First Alert Weather Day, but that severe weather threat does not ramp up until much later this evening, overnight into early Sunday morning. I mentioned this earlier. This is an overnight event. Make sure you are staying weather aware. Have multiple ways to receive those watches and warnings as they're issued. Great tool to have, of course, a NOAA weather radio, as well as our free 48 weather app. Highest threat for severe weather is actually going to be to our west and a good portion of Mississippi, including northern Mississippi, but also including our western counties here. We're talking Franklin, Colbert, Lauderdale County, maybe parts of Lawrence County. Everyone has a chance of seeing severe weather later this evening, and that threat will start to ramp up. Our primary concern will be damaging straight line wind gusts, potentially over 50 miles per hour. We've got a lot of wind to deal with, just a few thousand feet off the ground, and when we typically have these line of severe storms coming in, those winds get pulled down to the surface, and that's where we start to see that straight line wind threat really ramping up. There is enough spin or shear in the atmosphere that we will continue to monitor the threat of some embedded tornadoes in the line. These would typically be brief spin up type tornadoes, but still EF0, EF1 type. That is a concern here with this line of storms coming in later this evening. The threat for heavy rainfall and a guarantee of a lot of thunder and lightning out there. Here's your timeline. No changes from what we've been talking about over the past several days. Arriving as early as 9 p.m. for you in our western counties where there's that slightly elevated risk for severe storms, higher than the rest of the area, I should say. 9 p.m. until midnight. North central Alabama, this yellow color here from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Sunday morning. Last but not least here towards Sand Mountain, northeast Alabama from midnight to 3 a.m. And we'll be watching the line as it interacts with the higher elevation and the topography there. Could get some Sand Mountain magic when you have a line of storms coming in. So let's look at it hour by hour. For most of the day today, we could see some periodic showers. It will be a very windy day. General gradient wind gusts from the south and southeast, potentially hitting 30 to 35 miles per hour. So keep an eye on things. If you have Valentine's Day decorations outside, they might be blowing around. But a few showers popping up as we go through the morning into the afternoon. A lot of you staying dry. Notice our temperatures start to warm up into the mid 60s and the humidity increasing as well. Now we get into the later evening hours. This is 9 o'clock, that early arrival timeline. If anything changes, meteorologist Jeff Denoyer will let you know. But it's been pretty consistent. 9 o'clock, we're watching this narrow line of storms producing that threat of damaging straight line wind gusts. We'll be watching for any bulging segments in the line, producing that higher risk of straight line winds, but also any notches forming, and that's where we could see those areas of rotation that could lead to that brief spin up tornado threat. This is 1 o'clock in the morning now, heading toward northeast Alabama. The good thing about this severe weather threat wraps up quickly as we go into tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning temperatures will be in the 40s and 50s and falling as we go through the day. A cold and windy day for your Sunday, and we've got some pretty big changes coming next week. Wednesday, even a wintry mix possible. Morning lows in the teens, highs just in the 30s for the end of the week.
All right.